Welcome back. One final point before we go tonight. This one goes out to Tariq Nasheed. I invited him to come on the show and talk after our Twitter back and forth yesterday, but he declined to do so. You can see for yourself. Here's the thing, Tariq didn't stick to the facts during our debate yesterday. He resorted almost immediately to personal attacks against me. He even attacked my appearance instead of addressing my arguments. Remember what I said a couple weeks ago? Next time liberals claim that Republicans are sexist, check out my Twitter feed. See for yourself how many liberal comebacks target my hair and not my arguments. But I actually follow Tariq on Twitter. I think he's entertaining. This is what he tweeted yesterday. Trump is at the United Nations condemning Kim Jong-un of human rights violations, but black Americans are being executed. My question is where? Where are black Americans being executed en masse by a despotic tyrant like North Korea? Tariq couldn't answer because it's not true. Instead, he resorted by default to his favorite tactic, race baiting. I ask a legitimate question. In Tariq's world, that makes me a racist. Oh, Tariq said, are you going to play the white supremacy denial game? You just go out of your way to deny no matter how much proof and evidence is provided. Well, you didn't provide any evidence. That is what I asked for. Listen, show me a specific example of black Americans being executed en masse by a despotic tyrant, because that's awful and I want to stand with you against it. But Tariq couldn't do that. Instead, he pivoted to the go-to argument liberals and race baiters use when they have zero facts to back up their fear-mongering. Denier, he cried. You deny white supremacy. Well, I do no such thing. Now, Tariq is a best-selling author and documentary filmmaker. If you don't believe it, just ask him. He should know better than to make an intellectually dishonest claim like that one. But then again, the Real Housewives of New Jersey are also best-selling authors, so let's just stick to the facts of what people say. I don't like to judge people by their resumes. A lot of times it does them a disservice. Mr. Anti-Racism Strategist goes on to say, the tyrant is the system of white supremacy itself, where a large number of people on code to maintain anti-black subjugation. Again, I beseech you, tell me where. If that is happening, I want to stand with you against that. All men are created equal. But this system you talk about, this is the same system where a black man makes his living as an anti-racism strategist on Twitter and sells his opinion in books. He's free to say whatever he wants, worship whomever he wants, associate with whatever friends he wants, marry whomever he chooses, and vote for the candidate he feels will best represent him. Is that the system of white supremacy of which you speak? Listen, our nation does have a troubled history of racism. Nobody's denying that. And there are individuals in our country who are racist to this day. There will always be people who will discriminate and degrade other people for some characteristic, whether it's race or gender and age, or people who try to discredit your opinions by mocking the color and style of your hair. People are sinful. If this is systemic, I want to have this conversation with you. Where there is injustice, I want to stand with you. I want to fix this. But you can't answer basic questions about your claims. Instead, you call me a white supremacist, which I suspected you would do because you have no facts to back up your claims and I caught you in the act. When you claim there are race soldiers executing black people with impunity, I asked you to tell me their names so I can help bring justice to them, because no person of any color should be unjustly executed with impunity for any reason. That's why I stand up for black babies who are targeted for their race and killed by abortion. Almost every week on my show, I condemn Margaret Sanger and Cecile Richards for complicity in murdering black babies en masse. And I call out Hillary Clinton and liberal politicians who praise Planned Parenthood for targeting minority women and carrying on the racist legacy of their founder. The founder who called black people human weeds. Tariq, where are you joining my calls to condemn abortion that kills 500,000 unborn black babies every single year? I thought you cared about protecting black lives. But no, you won't come on my show and talk about it. You won't demean yourself, you say. Well, Tariq, I think you mean I'm too scared to have a real conversation about race and facts and evidence with a conservative woman who votes differently than me. And that's a shame because it would have been fun. But the door's open if you muster the courage and ever change your mind. And that's my final point tonight. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.